SLO practice number 5. In the top map, what are the coordinates in degrees and minutes of the star? Okay, so here's the star. Going up and down, it is more than 22, but less than 23. So it's going to be 22 degrees, something minutes, and it's to the north. So we've got to figure out how many minutes there are. To go from here up to there is 60 minutes. So the star is almost the full 60, not quite. Let's estimate 50. That's the up and down. Now left and right. It is somewhere between 86 and 85. So it's more than 85, less than 86, 85 degrees, something minutes, and this is to the east. We got to figure out what the minutes are. To go from one side to the other is 60. And this looks to me like it's in the middle. So I'm going to say 30 minutes. And there's my answer for the location of the star. For the moon, going up and down, it's between 22 and 23. So it's going to be 22 degrees, something minutes north. Going up and down, it is almost all the way across. It's almost a full 60, but not quite. I'm going to say it's a little bit lower than the star. So let's say 48 minutes. You could say 45, all those numbers. Less than 60, but more than 30 we grant. Okay, now the next number is left and right. It is between 84 and 85. So it's 84 degrees, something minutes on the east. So from here to there is a full 60 minutes. We want to go just a little bit in. So you could say 10 or 15, maybe even 20. I'll say 10. So there are the coordinates of the moon. Next is a square. Going up and down, it's between 22 and 23. So I'm going to say 22 degrees, something minutes north. And it looks to me like it's just a little bit less than halfway. So I'm going to say 25 minutes. Exactly halfway would be 30. Remember, the whole way is 60. So a little bit less than half. Okay, going left and right. It's more than 85, but less than 86. So it's going to be 85 degrees, something minutes east. It looks to me like it's just a smidgen more than halfway across. All the way across is 60. Halfway across would be 30. So a little bit more than that, I'm going to estimate 40. And those are the answers for parts A, B, and C. The contour interval of the slower map. We go from 200 here to 250. So I do that in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. So the difference is 50. I do it in 5 steps. Each one has to be 10 feet then. So I'm going to mark up these numbers. The contour interval is 10 feet. On the lower map, what's the elevation of point E? I just marked that out to be 240. F. Where is F? There's F. F is between these two lines. The one line is 220. The next one is 230. So I picked the number that's exactly in the middle, 225. G is between 230 and 240 then. Remember, each line is 10 feet higher. So the middle number is 235. It does not matter exactly where the dot is in between those two lines. You always pick the exact middle number. Which side of the rock mountain is most gradual? Okay, so here's the east side, and you can see how far apart the lines are. Here's the north side. Look how far apart the lines are there. And on the east side and the south side. I hope that you can see that here we have the lines closest together. So the north side is going to be that's going to be the steepest. And which one is most gradual? I think these are the farthest apart. And so the west is the most gradual. So I better erase that. North is not the answer to this question, so I've got to erase that. The most gradual is where the lines are farthest apart. This is the steepest where the lines are closest together. If you were to walk west from point X, there's point X, west is this direction, would you be going uphill or downhill? Remember that the little circles represent the hilltops. So as you're walking to the west, you're walking away from the hilltop. That's going to be downhill. If you were to walk northwest from point D to C, here, this direction right there, would you be going uphill or downhill? You are going from D to C, you're going towards the little circle, so that's towards the hilltop. That's going to be uphill. What direction is Coffee Creek flowing? Here's Coffee Creek. And we can tell that here's the top of the hill, so it's got to be flowing down the hill. It must be going to the west. Red River is down here. Again, it's going to be flowing from high numbers, high elevations, 250, to low elevations, 200 here. So it's going to be going down this direction. That's going to be south. So you can do these rivers by looking at the numbers. It always goes from a high number, high elevation, to a low elevation. The distance between Mount Vernon and Big Town. So I copy the scale here. Here's 0, 10, 20, 30, 40. And I go from Mount Vernon to Big Town. There's Mount Vernon, there's Big Town. Put a little tick mark at the 40 and transfer over, and I see that it's another 40. So that's about 80 miles between St. Louis and Big Town. Here is, line up the 0 at St. Louis. There's one scale, here's a second scale, here's a third scale, and then it goes up to 30. So 3 full scales, that's 40 plus 40 plus 40, plus another 30 is going to be 150. If you're traveling from St. Louis to Effingham to Mount Vernon, would you turn left or right at Effingham? Okay, St. Louis to Effingham to Mount Vernon. I look down this first road and I see that Mount Vernon is to my right. Traveling from Mount Vernon to St. Louis to Greenville. Here's Mount Vernon to St. Louis to Greenville. I have to turn the page, so I'm looking down the first road from Mount Vernon to St. Louis, and I can see that Greenville is to my right. Road labeled 24 is down here, and that's a fancy one with points and colors, so that's a fancy road. That is an interstate. 51 is right here. It just simply has points and curves, but doesn't have the colors, so it's a second-rate kind of road. That's going to be a U.S. highway. And then the 1, where is it? Right up here. That's just in a plain old circle. So that's a plain old state road, a state highway. To find the gradient here, you do the rise over the run times 100, and that will get you 20%. Here, gradient is the rise over the run, 5 over 20 times 100, and that's going to be 25%.